Cowboys came out on top of the most valuable sports franchises, according to a survey by Sportico. Not only were the Cowboys $1.73 billion, with a B, billion dollars ahead of the next highest NFL franchise, and that would be the LA Rams, but the Cowboys also topped the New York Yankees by $630 million, making Skip's team the most valuable sports franchise in the world. Shannon, how surprised are you?
I'm not surprised at all. We knew this. But what's it gotten them? It doesn't make them any better on the field, Skip. I think in the last...
Did you realize they're pulling away as the most valuable? The gap, look at the gap between the Cowboys and the Rams. It's like $1.7 billion.
Yeah, but guess what they're not pulling? Guess what they're not pulling away?
I got it. The Rams won it all.
Yeah,
Cowboys won zilch.
The Patriots. How many Super Bowls have they won since the Cowboys have been the most valuable franchise? They've probably been to 6 or 7, probably won 3 or 4. So for me, Skip, yeah, that's great. We already knew the Cowboys were the most valuable franchise in all the world, more than the football teams of Europe, Man U, Bar, PSG, all those teams. Yeah, we knew that. More valuable than the Yankees. Yes, we knew that. But, Skip, at the end of the day, if you're a professional franchise, yes, you want value, but what about championships? I thought teams, professional teams, tried to win championships. In the last 25 years, how many teams that they're more valuable than have gone to Super Bowls, won Super Bowls? The Broncos have been, since they last been to the Super Bowl, the Broncos have won 3, have gone to 4. The Ravens have won 2. Come on, Skip. I mean, so yes, you're valuable. But what does that equate to on the football field as far as winning product?
Nothing. They're the biggest TV draw in sports.
Yes.
Just watch what's about to happen live on Fox.
Yes.
Just watch. Every time the Cowboys play, they'll set some record for the year. They'll have the top 5 viewed games.
They're car wreck. You pass, you're on one side of the 405 and there's a car wreck. You slow down to look. You're not going to help.
Rubbernecking?
They're car wreck. And you just can't help. You just, Skip, you go to NASCAR, you want to see the wrecks. You want to see somebody crash. You want to see somebody crash into the wall. That's what you do. Hockey, you want to see somebody fight. Cowboys, you just want to see the thing get up the tracks.
Who's the least valuable NFL franchise?
The Bengals.
The Bengals, they're $2.8 billion to the Cowboys, $7.64 billion.
Yeah.
The Bengals almost won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So on my podcast last week, I told the story of how Jerry Jones bought the Dallas Cowboys. He's oil and gas. He's at a convention in San Diego. He and Steven fly down in their Lear 35 that they own to Cabo San Lucas. They go out the night before to a place called the Giggling Marlin, in which customers can be hung upside down. You can drink all the free margaritas you want as long as you're drinking them upside down, hanging like a marlin that has been caught. And Jerry had too many margaritas hanging upside down. He couldn't go out on a fishing expedition the next day. He's a little hungover in his hotel room in Cabo, and he tucked in the San Diego Union Tribune in his satchel, and he pulls it out. He's skimming. On page 5, he sees the blurb, Dallas Cowboys are for sale. He goes downstairs, this is back in 1988, gets the overseas operator to call back to Salomon Brothers, the broker for the deal, and he says to whoever he gets on the phone, you don't know me, but my name is Jerry Jones, and I'm going to buy the Dallas Cowboys. He wanted to go, as he said, have some fun. He had the least money of the final 5 bidders, but the then owner, Bum Bright, hated Tom Landry, and because Jerry had said, I'm bringing a new coach, he was the only bidder who didn't want to go forward with Coach Landry, he got to buy them for a song. It was cheap. It was ridiculously cheap because he didn't have any more money. He was rubbing his nickels together just to get the deal done. And look what just happened. So Jerry is still winning while we in Cowboy Nation lose because silly me, I thought back in 1996, after they had played in their last NFC Championship game and won their final Super Bowl, they played in that championship game on January 14th of 1996. Yeah. It has now been 9,700 days since my team even made it to an NFC Championship game. Yeah. And over those 26 and a half years, they have played in 15 playoff games, which ranks 19th in the NFL, but worse, they've only won 4. So over 26 years, they're 4-11. Yeah. Guess where that winning percentage ranks over 26 years in the postseason? It's 3rd from the bottom. Yeah, see? It's the 3rd worst. Well, that's impossibly wrong. My Dallas Cowboys are running away with most valuable team, not in the league, but in the world.
Yes.
In the world. And they've won 4 playoff games in 26 years. It does not compute.
It doesn't. But Skip, they have something very unique. Jerry actually owns the stadium. So a lot of these teams, Skip, they lease the stadium from the city.
I got it.
Jerry got
that
here.
Helps a lot.
And that's why the Rams, because the Ram is a multi-purpose facility. So is Cowboy Stadium.
Okay. So he has become the most famous owner in the history of professional sports. And he continues to make his team the most interesting team because he's got 2 radio shows and nobody promotes the product better than Jerry does. Because everybody waits to hear, what did the old coot say this time, right? That's kind of the view of the world. The Cowboy haters say, what did he say this time? And every day we're talking about Jerry Jones, and I was just blown away by these figures because they are now separating themselves in value from the field.
But, Skip, the value, and that's not a true value because the value is what someone is willing to pay for something. Because if you remember when the Clippers went up for sale, nobody thought they were going to get $1 billion. And then here comes Steve Ballmer says, I give you $2.2 billion.
Okay.
And so now that just drove. You see, the Broncos just went for over $4.5 billion to the Walton son and his son-in-law Penner. So we see where these prices. Now for the Cowboys, would I be surprised if somebody said, I want to buy the Cowboys, I give you $10 billion. But Jerry is not selling the Cowboys because everything Jerry Jones is tied to the Cowboys. That's how we know Jerry. That's how we know Jerry Jones.
He wants Steven to take over for him and Jerry Jr. to take over for Steven.
Yeah.
And keep it in the family.
Oh, yeah. And they're not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
So the point is, I've always said, Jerry Jones, who I spent hundreds of hours around to write my 3 books on the Cowboys, is the happiest human I've ever known.
Right.
And I believe he's still the happiest human, even though they've won only 4 playoff games. And the odds are, they won't win another Super Bowl in his lifetime. I think the odds would be pretty stacked against that, right?
I agree.
And I think he knows that. But he's got 3 Lombardis in his office, so he's pretty happy with that. I think he's very content. And I think he's still the happiest man in the world because he gets to own and operate the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. That revenue share and all these TV money, Skip, all the printing, all the other stuff is Jerry. Jerry printing the jerseys and the T-shirts.
And he was this unknown guy from Arkansas in oil and gas. And he struck it rich, didn't he, in this?
Hey.
This is all time.
For 150, I guess, 130, 135, 40 million in 1988 to worth almost $8 billion.
Yeah, and so what you said, would somebody offer him 10? Sure they would for this.
He would take it.
Yeah, he wouldn't take it.
I don't believe
they'll never sell.
Skip, I don't believe there's an amount of money that you could offer Jerry Jones to sell you the Cowboys because it's everything that he is. Nobody really knew who Jerry Jones was. I mean, there are a lot of people, Skip, that got way more money than Jerry Jones.
Way more.
But they don't own the Cowboys.
Not anymore. Right?
They don't own the Cowboys, though, Skip. Oh, no. Jerry Jones probably, if there's 1,500, 1,700 billionaires, what do you think Jerry ranked? 1,600?
I don't know.
I mean, consider
Elon. You're out of my league.
Well, Elon Musk is worth about $250 billion. So this is a lot of money. I mean, I thought I was going to be a billionaire myself. I played the Powerball. But I guess I got to settle for this 130.
Yeah, Ernestine bought me a ticket, too.
Yeah. I didn't win.
Yeah. But if I had one, I'd be right here.
Oh, I'd have been right here, too. Yep, I'd have been right here. Right here. Y'all might have to put a clause in my contract.
That's true.
You might study? Yes.
Yeah, that's probably
I'm just showing up. I see y'all at 6:25.
Well, y'all come on back. Just remember to send a little love your moderator's way if either one of you win that Powerball.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.